What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. We're going to do things a little bit different today. I've been doing my research on YouTube, and YouTube says that we need a video called the Division 2 best build. So this is going to be it, my best build for TU20. We are out and about, and most of you will already guess what this is right off the rip, but this is going to be easy claps. The best all-round build you can use right now. We all know builds are situational and all that, but for heroic content, legendary content, just kind of big chilling, whatever it is that you want to be doing in Division 2 right now, this build's pretty much going to have you covered, unless you're trying to chase resource convoys that are running away like Linford Christie. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and consider joining the channel, and we're going to get straight into it with this heroic convoy right here. We'll do a couple of activities as well, and then we will go through the build. Obviously, it's easy king right off the rip because I've got an Ouroboros, but it wouldn't be the best build without it, because that is part of it. But Chatterbox is also available, which is really, really nice. Why is he growling at me?
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
The game sounds feels loud. And that's pretty much how every open world event will go down with this build. It's pretty much how almost everything goes down with this build. And if we need to swap to a bit of range, because I know that will come up, we have got our shield splinterer in, in backup. But saying that, the Ouroboros has some spectacular range on it for an SMG. It's pretty crazy. And it's probably just the fact that it masks the fact that you're missing so many bullets, but it fires so many that you hit them and you kind of feel like you're doing well, and you're probably missing half your mag, but because it hits anyway, it's kind of cool. Right, so Grand Washington Hotel. We'll just rip the beginning of this bit up as well.
Right next to the Grand Washington Hotel.
Okay, here we go. That should get their attention. Head to the service entrance on the east side of the building.
Hi. Bro.
Once you're inside, find a way to the atrium.
I'm purposely not going to use my shield on this beginning bit before I get called a girl for using a shield. But we have to use Firewall with this build, so we don't have the Banshee Pulse available. But you could use a Defender drone if you wanted to.
Hostile radio intercepted.
We're under attack.
The benefits, obviously, of using the shield, you get the damage bonus. And I mean, look at did you see the regen on that then? Did you see the regen? And again, that regen is insane. Hiya, bro. We're just going to go right to the stomach. We're not going to bother trying to disable you. We're just going to show big damage. And look at my life. Again,
Everybody, get to the atrium.
this is insane. It's easily the best build at the moment. And it's not strikers. Before anyone's like, oh, it's strikers, Tickle. Ooh, it's not strikers. Everybody hates strikers builds nowadays. It's not cool. Strikers is the best build in the game, right? But it's not right now. Not today. So I wish I still had that speedy reviver hive. Not reviver hive, the booster hive. Remember we used to be a speed run with the booster hive? That would be so good with this build.
Right up the elevators and work your way up.
Right, okay, we've done enough of this one. Right, so very, very quickly, we're going to go down to Lincoln Memorial. We're going to run the opening section because I'll kill everything really fast and it'll make me feel good. And I'll be like, look at me, I'm a pro.
Is anyone on this channel?
Anyone on this channel? No, I've gone to a different mission. Sorry, love, you have to get somebody else.
The doors to the cafe, but one of our people is hurt and we need help.
Nope, sorry, not today.
If anyone can hear this, my name is Mari Singh. I'm the aquarium director.
But why are you talking to me, Mari?
Just want to feed the community.
Excuse me. Did you just swear on YouTube? That is not allowed.
And remove the True Sons forces. They maintain this outpost, and True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
Yes, yes. Fine. Doesn't matter, I've got survivability for days. I mean,
hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate
I would literally have to be regulus 100% popping to be beating the speed on that. Things just die so fast.
Check it out.
Grenades downrange!
Locking the enemy down.
This guy's a gamer. Excuse me. Excuse me. Teammates behind me. I've got to kill you quickly. Range. I mean, look at the armor bar on that. That's sweaty. If my aim was better, I'd be even sweatier. Please reconsider firing that rocket. Keep. Please. Thank you.
all clear.
I mean,
I repeat, the compound is all clear.
that is, I literally ran out of ammo at the end because I was just pushing so hard and not thinking about what I was doing. But it is easily the premium of builds right now. It is so good. And that's why it definitely earns the Division 2 best build title for this video, because it's just crazy good. It does everything. Now, we know builds are situational. I'm not one of them content creators that are going to say to you, this build will do everything in the game and you need no other builds, because that is a lie. You're going to need CC builds, you're going to need healing builds, you're going to need sniper builds, you're going to need other type of DPS builds. We know builds are situational, but big chilling, you can see heroic content. This will do legendary content. This will do, you know, and pretty much you're all around it. You can take it into countdown, you can take it into the summit if you wanted to, and you would do really well with this build. You can also slap on a chatterbox for infinite reloads, all good things like that. Let's get straight into it. Right, so first things first, specialization. We're going to go with firewall, and we're going to go with firewall because surprise TU20 is all about health, and we need 30% health on kill. The reason we need 30% health on kill, because in this build, 30% health on kill is worth way more than 10% health on kill that we are going to get from Gunner. Now, we are going to miss out on a couple of things that Gunner also gives us. Gunner's a really good specialization. You get an extra rate of fire increase, you generate 10% ammo that you're going to give to your team, which is kind of cool as well. And every third reload is 50% faster, but we're using the Ouroboros, we don't really care too much. So we are going to lose out on them things, and if you really want them things, you can switch this build to Gunner and you won't, you know, you're not going to miss too much, right? But firewall is where it's at, right? So make sure you're selecting SMG damage. We're going to look at the build, and shock, because I've only raved about it for about the last 2-3 weeks since TU20 came out. We are running Palisade. We are running that. And there's a mega reason that we're running that, is that if we go into my defense stats here, we can see my max health is 561k, and I get 448k of it back on every single kill. I've got 902k armor, and I get 270k back from that. So what we're going to think about here is, very quickly, we're going to do 27900, and we're going to minus 10%. So if we ran Gunner, we would only get an extra 27k, right, on our armor on kill. Yep, so that's what you got to think about, right? And then if we've got, look at our max health here, 561000, right? Okay, and then we're going to minus 30% of that. So basically that health on kill, we're getting an extra 168k, which is included in this number here, obviously, because we've got the specialization on, but that is way more. So the 30% health on kill is worth way more than the 10% armor on kill. Because basically, at this moment in the Division 2, the difference between armor and health in PvE anyway really doesn't matter. Now, obviously, in PvP, it does play into consideration because people can spec into a build to shoot you with damage to target out to cover. They can shoot you with damage to armor. They can shoot you with damage to health. So in PvP scenarios, it really does matter. But in a PvE scenario, you might as well just add that number up. You know, we could go 903,000 plus 561,000, add it up. And that number there might as well just say 1.4 million. Because it's all one great big health pool as far as we are concerned. So it really doesn't matter. So that's in its simplest terms, but we can add more health now with this new gear set, and we can add a huge amount of health on kill as well, because they tried to kind of nerf it with the Hunter's Fury changes, and it really made no difference whatsoever. So let's get straight into we'll look at the good pieces first, right? This is Mr. God Roll. Huge piece here. This is probably one of the best pieces in the game to get right now. Super hard to find, but well worth the grind. Now, you can see here we've got armor on kill, which is what I was talking about before, which is 10%, which is nice. And then we get 60% health. This is just God tier when it comes to PvE, because although it's not spec into even more critical hit damage that we would normally spec into, this allows all red builds to get a ton of survivability, an absolute ton of survivability. So we can look like, you know, at the end of a killing 10 enemies, we can look like a tank. Like, my armor was huge, so absolutely great right now to just run all reds pretty much and, you know, look and play like a tank. So armor on kill and health, weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, critical hit damage. Now, obliterate on the bottom slot. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% per 10 seconds, and it stacks up to 25 times. It stacks super fast with the Ouroboros, one of the best damage talents we have in the game. Now, to get this, you're going to have to get it to drop with critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and obliterate on. That is that is really hard, like really, really hard. And then you can change the core attribute to weapon damage. If you're lucky enough to get one, I might still have it if I scroll down here. Like this one, for instance, you can see here, I got one with obliterate and critical hit damage. I rolled critical hit chance on it, and I ran that in the meantime until I got this one. For instance, I've got one here with intimidate on, which is really, really nice. Again, God tier intimidate piece here, all red. I've got one here with braced on. I don't know why. I'm just going to delete it. But the division's kind of hard right now with these pieces because they're giving us weird core attributes when we want reds, and it makes us basically having to stack a whole bunch. I know why I've got that one, and I'm not going to delete it because I can keep the blue core, and this talent can be anything. I almost killed a really good piece there. This one can be absolutely anything I want at this point. So that's kind of, you know, inventory management is pretty much hell when it comes to these God tier pieces because the core attribute's not a red, and we want them to be a red, but that means we're going to have to stack and carry multiple ones. But that's the God tier piece. That's the unicorn. That's the one you're going to want to be farming for in TU20. Then if we go to the backpack, I don't have the God tier backpack because obviously I would want Bloodsucker for this, crit chance, crit damage, and then I would roll the core attribute to weapon damage. That's what I'm working on at the moment. Basically, I farm countdown until I can get that piece, and if I'm not lucky enough, I will rip it, and then I will spend my resources crafting the backpack. And as you can see, I spent all my resources. I've got none left. I ripped I ripped over 500 Palisade pieces the other day and didn't get one. This is the one I've got on now is the closest that I got. So not an easy backpack to get. And if we scroll down here and we take a look at my collection, you can see here I've got again a temporary one with Unstoppable Force. I've got a God tier Wicked one and a temporary one with Adrenaline Rush as well. And it's basically, you know, it's meaning I've got to get 4 backpacks, what usually is the price of one, for instance. So, you know, if we looked at this Group O backpack, this is perfect. I could basically roll this to any talent. I only need 1 of them. My inventory is great, but the problem is now I need 4 of them because I want all red versions. So anyway, I digress. So that's the 2 Palisade pieces. Then Hunter's Fury, really easy, right? 2-piece gives us 15% SMG damage. You can rock a shotgun if you really want to, but I rock an AR just for that extra range support if I ever need it. Then 3 pieces gives us 20% armor on kill, 50% health on kill. So remember, that's coming into conjunction with your specialization as well, meaning that we get a huge amount of health on kill, which we talked about earlier on. And then we get Apex Predator. Enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying weapon damage against them by 20%. So just make sure you play within 15 meters. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorientates other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Huge amount of damage there. And as you can see, it absolutely ripped through enemies. So in the mask, you want weapon damage, and crit damage. And like all red builds, you basically build into as close to 60% critical hit chance as you possibly can be, and then everything else into critical hit damage. You can see with the gloves, weapon damage, critical hit damage. With the knees, weapon damage, critical hit damage. With the holster, weapon damage, critical hit damage. And you're absolutely buzzing. Now, you might see here that I have expertise some of these pieces. It really doesn't matter. It actually only expertise is the base armor level, not your armor level over here. So it's a fairly minimal increase, but if you're happy with what you've got and you think I'm going to use these pieces for a long time, by all means, you might as well max them out. But I would only recommend that you max them out after you've done guns, skills, and spec weapons first. Guns are transferable between characters. They don't carry across the, if I have 2 shield splinterers, you have to, if you want to, with different stats on, for instance, one might have damage target or cover, one might have damage to armor on. It's a bad example because why would you ever need that? But the expertise applies per weapon. With skills, it applies across your account. So if I start a level 30 account tomorrow, my firewall shield will already be level 17. If I went into my drone's level 20. So you get a huge boost advantage actually by doing that. Let's take a look at the stats. So with the Ouroboros, 59% critical hit chance, 151% critical hit damage, 70% headshot damage. And then if we go over here, the most important ones here, we've got 270k armor on kill and 448k health on kill. And you can literally just straight swap in the chatterbox if you wanted to. And if I go here, I rock that mod out, it puts it down to 58%, but then obviously I'm just going to rock in a critical hit damage mod. Not that one. That one. And as you can see, we're absolutely buzzing. Same stats. And if you've not got the Ouroboros, this works absolutely fine. Just try and not hit the reload button like I do all the time. I'm an idiot and I kill my stats because it's all about the chatterbox when it's level 4 or 5. It's insanely good. And if you keep it up at that level, we've talked about this before, I have no problems keeping it up, but you will easily compete with somebody that has an Ouroboros as well because the RPM boost is just absolutely insane. That's going to be it for the video. Let's see if the YouTube analytics are right and this is the video that people really want. The Division 2 Best Build TU20 2024. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and maybe join the channel. Thank you for all your support, agents. Don't forget to stick something in the comments down below. And if you need a community Discord because you need a place to hang out with people that love the Division 2 or you just need some help with something, you'll find the link down below in the description. Thank you for watching, agents, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.